Okay, this is the Georgia Navigator Cup 2023. This is the BrownX for Sunday. And I went out and I ran all three of these courses in one day about a week before for a total distance of about 11.6K. This particular course is 4.1K. And of course, I was the vetter for this day, the setter for Friday, vetter for Saturday and Sunday. So I put out all the stands, checked all the locations, yada yada yada. So yeah, I've been to all these places. The only thing I haven't done is actually run the course. And I screwed up this video before, so this is a redo, and hopefully I can remember everything that I did, as I'm making this redo about a month later. Yeah, so I worked the start on Sunday and Saturday and Friday. Anyway, I saw a whole bunch of people start, and they were going in all kinds of different directions. Yeah, I don't see why you can't just go straight up the hill ahead of you. There's plenty of things to check off along the way. So that's what I did. Getting across the stream, it was a little chilly on that day. Trying not to get my feet wet. And you can just check these things off as you go up. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is go across all these ditches. The little black blobs, which is about all I could see of these things on the map, is a tiny black dot, are sort of ruined rock walls. They were intended to be erosion control in the ditches. And yeah, they just show up as little black blobs, at least to my eyes. So right on up, there it is. Of course, I'm just running to tape. There's no controls out there. Here's your number 2. This is not, terribly difficult either. The trails on this side of the park, yeah, about along in here, I had to make a phone call. So, pro tip, yeah, don't stop to make a phone call when you're competing. There I am talking on my phone. Sorry about that. Let's put the phone away and continue on. Some of the trails on this side are very indistinct, and some are not. This first one here, that's going up to the water. There's a well up there with a well house, and they go up and service it, so that's what that one's about. So I'm crossing the 2 streams, going up the spur. If you want to look for these tiny trails, yeah, it's best just to, if you run across it, use it. If not, just ignore it. Over the spur, across the next reentrant. Now this reentrant I'm looking for is actually sort of a fork in the big one, which goes off to the right-hand side, and there should be a ditch in there with control in it. And there you go. I don't think I ever saw that indistinct trail. Here's your number 3, which is one of your longer. This may be the longest leg on this course. It looks complicated, but it's not really, if you break it up into smaller sections. And I'm trying to stay as close to straight line as I can, so I'm not adding a lot of distance. But it's easy to just mark these things off as you go by. Angling down, using the thumb compass on the map to get the right direction, crossing a bunch of ditches, going out on this spur. And down and across the stream. It'd be hard to find a place to cross, but there you go. And in here, you should be making some time in here because we're sort of going downhill. Getting around all the fallen trees. And yeah, I am drifting too far to the south. You can use all these ditches and gully to point you in the right direction going up. Huge rootstock there on the left. Top of this spur is very broad. It's got some rocky things up here, but you can't really use those to navigate by. And what you want to do is not be fooled by this very broad spur into going the wrong way. So we're going downhill, very gradual downhill here, looking for big rootstocks, and there they are. So 4 is kind of a turning control, because it adds a little distance going to 5. These short controls, you've got to be very careful. Move as quickly as possible, otherwise you'll lose a lot of time. But this is not difficult either. We're aiming for this group of ditches. I'm drifting off to the south. Correct. Come back up in there. 4 to 5. Nice big spur to go up. Going up a spur like this is not hard. Look for the highest spots. Of course, I'm going to aim off to the side. I should have been trying harder to stay on a straight line. But you notice there's a ditch and a very big gully that's just pointing us in exactly the right direction. If you can find those and run along them, you're good. You don't have to get in them, as long as you can see them over there. And this ditch is just right in the bottom of the entrance. All right, here's your number 6. That looks complicated too, but not if you subdivide it. Break it up into smaller sections. If you'll notice, right before you get to number 6, there's a huge saddle. So all I'm doing here is going off in the direction of that saddle. Trying not to drift too far to one side or the other. And the woods are so incredibly open here that as soon as I crest this spur, I can look over across that huge reentrant and see the saddle that I'm going for. At that point, you can just concentrate on running and not worry about compass or anything besides getting around the fallen trees. And there's a big, big, big saddle. Now it's just down into the reentrant, and it's a marshy thing at the bottom, rootstock on the other side. Simplify, simplify, simplify. All right, your number 7. This is also not terribly difficult. The spur, if you follow along that spur, is pointing you in pretty much the right direction. Then cross over. There should be a reentrant right in the middle of the next spur with a ditch in it. We're going up to the top to one of the little black things. Number 8. This one is a tendency here to fall downhill when going over this, which would put you too low. So that's really the only thing you have to worry about. Other than that, you're going in this direction till you hit the first big reentrant. And then right on the other side of the reentrant, just up the spur a little bit, is a dot knoll. Number 9. Now you can use the tornado damage, that's the big green blobs, as a handrail coming down here. Across the stream, contouring along the next spur. And yeah, I was getting tired, obviously, and it seemed like there was more green over in here than is on the map. But probably just because I was very tired, so I was fighting with it, trying to get up the next hill. Yeah, I'm just to the south of the big earth bank. Going up. I couldn't find, clear space. Looked like the green was wherever I wanted to be. And then the finish, if you did Saturday, then this Sunday finish is going to look very similar. Exactly the same, pretty much. Basically, go down the hill, hit that clearing with the big gravel road in it, down to the paved road, avoiding the green as much as possible, across the paved road, up the next trail. If this were, the real event, there would be plenty of people up here cheering me on. Now there you go, that's the Sunday BrownX. Very nice. Here's my report. I averaged 12 minutes 45 seconds. Well, not bad for having so many runs in one day. Thanks for watching.